Um, as y'all can see from the heading, it says don't get mad, get in the box. So if you disagree with anything that I have to say, or you want to know what I'm talking about, just send me a request and we can discuss this. So the three topics today I want to talk about, they're kind of unrelated, but still. Number one, I wanted to talk about why do BLK men receive all of the protection in the black community but cause the most harm? Why do they receive the most protection? It's very strange to me, and it's very obvious that that's what's going on. Number two, I have a question. Should black Americans, black people, should we be protesting right now, for ICE and all of these other things? I have my own thoughts about it, but I'd like to hear y'all thoughts about it as well. Number three, I wanted to talk about Love Island. Now, this is just for people that watch it, which I know is not going to be probably a lot of people that have run across this live. But if you have watched it, or not, if you have watched it, if you do watch it and you watched last night's episode already, then I would love to have a discussion about that as well. But most importantly, good morning, BG Lavish. I want to talk about the first two topics because those are the ones that are important. And, really number two, as I stay away from talking about a lot of politics because, like, right now, when we have situations in the country, like, a lot of things I truly believe are out of our hands, regardless of the fact. I believe that Trump was coming regardless. I don't, I believe something in the milk isn't clean. So, I believe that was really out of everybody's control, in my opinion. But I'll just say that this whole idea that black people anytime black people talk about their plight and the things that they experience, they talk about the lack of reparations. They talk about the fact that they were promised, to be made whole after America and white people did all of these things to them, lied to them about getting land, stole their money, stole their land, unalived them with no consequence, unalived children, people that didn't do anything, and white people were just jealous and unalive them, lynch them, did all of these things, and we received nothing. And everybody just said, you have a victim mentality. Shut up, deal with whatever it is you got going. Be happy that the white people freed you and all of this other BS. And that came from literally every race of people. Hispanics, Latinos, white Asians, Indians, if I want to separate them, Indians, even some indigenous people. So my thing is that why in the world are we talking about unity now because something's happening to somebody else? Because when everything's happening to black people, for the most part, when black people are being targeted by law enforcement or discriminated against, or you have somebody where you have to take down all your pictures when you're trying to get an appraisal on your house, because if, a white appraiser comes, he's going to appraise your house for like $250,000 less. Nobody says nothing to black people other than shut up, period. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, BLM. First of all, BLM, a lot of y'all did it for the look. And number two, still, a lot of y'all didn't do it. A lot of y'all responded with all lives matter and everything else. So I don't want to hear it. I really don't. So why is it that we need to have this solidarity and link up when it's something affecting y'all? And then y'all asking black people to do it because black people said they not doing it. My panel is open. That's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Because, we need you black people. Any other time you don't need black people. And then number two, why y'all not asking the white people? Why y'all not somewhere shaming them? Shaming them for voting this way, shaming them for not being out there on the ground helping you. It's always black people that y'all see. Y'all ask for help. When y'all are the meanest, rudest, triflingest, most discriminatory to the same people that you asking for help. I don't think that black American people most specifically should help at all. You're on your own. Figure it out. And that's what it is. So that's how I feel. And I feel like until black people stop being the mammies and stop assisting people that definitely play in their face, you know what I'm saying? Then your black people are always going to be a joke. If you don't stand on business, in this particular instance, like where it's that black people are always gonna be a joke. Yes, I have been called so many N-words. Joke. Yes, I have been called so many N-words, so many disgusting things by white T Latinos, white T Hispanics, whatever you want to call it, for sure. So it's like let I might for sure. So it's like I might even be more than white T people, actually. But I've had a lot of racism from white T people, so I don't want to make it seem like I haven't. But I've had a lot from both. And so let's not make it like this whole thing that black and brown people are like so connected and there's so much love. I seen a Hispanic girl get mad at me and call me the N word on TikTok because I said that black women originated the baby hairs that are going on right now. Y'all know the ones that the girls put on the wigs, the ones that they do with their braids. Some Hispanic girl tried to tell me her grandma was doing that in the 80s. I just, like I said, it's crazy, and I refuse to assist in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Go ahead, Lexi. If you have something to say, sis.
Yeah, I'm listening to you. You're making some good points, and I know that has nothing to do with like racism, but if we're the ones constantly, black people, receiving the backlash on racism, then we should be the ones to determine whether or not we should, participate in certain protests. But we do have to also admit that a lot of the black men have been praising Latino women and choosing them. And so it's not really a collective effort. Black people, we're not necessarily collective when it comes to this situation. Black men have publicly insulted us and continue to. I don't know if this is through the passport boys. We can look at a lot of our millionaire athletes, and these millionaire athletes are literally saying, this is who I date. We can talk about Kobe Bryant, wife. She doesn't even give this man's parents a dime. And just noticing that this is what's beauty, this is who we want to be with. I realized that no, it's not worth getting out to protest. But when we just want to break down the collective efforts of the black community, we don't have any. We just know we're not tolerating the disrespect, but they're disrespecting us because black women are not protected by black men. So it's a really complicated issue, and black women are the most vulnerable because we are usually the ones not only raising the sons and daughters of the next generation of black community, but we're also taking the most disrespect. And so I don't know, but you make good points.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Lexi. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just feel like you're right. It is a very complicated topic, but I do feel like specifically Black American people shouldn't do anything. I think that you should be quiet. You shouldn't go out there. You shouldn't risk your life, your health, your safety, your body. Risk getting, struck by a rubber, bullet. I don't think that you should risk anything. You should just stay your butt at home and say, hey, my thoughts and prayers are with you, and hopefully y'all get this settled away. Because people have sat there and watched the most egregious things happen to black people and have said nothing. People have disrespected black people in the worst way, and people have just laughed at it. So my thing is that every time this happens, every time other communities need us, here they come crying and hooting and hollering and trying to shame black people into helping when they know they will not do the same. They know that they would not risk their neck for anything that directly affected a black person. They wouldn't. And that's just what it is. And I wish that black people will understand that. And there's also a reason why they don't use these same shaming tactics towards white T people, because they know white T people not going. They be like, so what? I don't care. And they don't do nothing. And yet these people still uphold white T supremacy. Yet they still act like white T people are perfect. Yet they still will give some type of a priority to a white T person over you. And even though they know deep down inside that these people don't care if they live or unalive, they don't care. So it's like if you feel like they so good and that's the reason why you acting like black people are public enemy number one, then ask them for help. Go where all the white T people are and say, hey, white T people, why aren't you guys helping us protect us against ICE? Because they won't do anything to you. They won't. It would be better if y'all would ask them in the first place. Because you know, white tea people respect white tea people lives. They don't do it. That's why when you see officers trying to arrest white tea men, I just saw a video yesterday of a white tea man punching in the face three white officers, one woman, two men, punched them all. They stuttered back. He started running. Did he get any type of, hot lead in the back while he was running? Nope. They just yelling after him, come back, because they respect each other. So my thing is that y'all need to ask them. Y'all need to ask them, yes, and they also need to ask the Asian people. Because it's a lot of Asians in LA. Ask them. Ask
I
them to go do something. They also uphold white tea supremacy. So ask the Asians, man.
You know what the contest is though. We black, we can't change that. But Asians, they know that they can assimilate. You know, everyone know once you go to the United States, once you say you're white, once you agree to white ideology, and it is has a lot to do with supremacy and all that, then you're not black. Anything other than black is acceptable. But I think a lot of these Latinos have come and they said, we don't even want to be Latino because we realize Latinos are associated with black and brown. We don't want that. We want our own stuff. We are white. And guess what? They are white. Based on the census and based on historical data, these are white Spaniards. They are white and they were here in North America, as far as colonizers go, before the British, before the French. They were here. So this is just a lot of like white on white crime if you think about it. We're the ones through the civil rights movement thought that we can get everybody together and say, hey, come on, we shall overcome, and create civil rights. And so they come over here under the guise of civil rights, but then they go under another protection, which is white privilege. And they do have white privilege. It's just they speak Spanish. So we're not part of that. We don't want to accept that. It's really us isolated and alone, not them, because they're white and they have huge countries that can back them up. They have oil, they have resources, countries. We don't have a country. We don't have anything. So it would, in a way, kind of be to our benefit to at least understand that we're subjugated. We're still discriminated against. We don't have human rights. They do. We don't. So they do have a little bit more authority when it comes to um, their concept of white privilege. They kind of have it. We don't.
Yeah, and I would just say, like, just right along with your comments, I would just say that I'm for one and fed up. That's just it. I honestly, at this point, this whole thing that I'm watching, I have like literally been watching and respectfully judging people, judging black people. Like the black people that I see that are really passionate about standing up, the black people that are really trying to shame other black people and acting like they don't know why black people would be apprehensive to join in a fight that is not affecting them right now, in defense of a group that collectively does not care about black people at all. You can argue with your mama about that. I look at those black people as delusional. Like I really do. I think that you're a delusional black person. And to be honest with you, I think that I look at you like you're almost a something that rhymes with cartoon. If y'all get what I'm saying. I think you are Uncle Ruckus's cousin. Truthfully, if you really believe that and you're really out here shaming black people and yelling and screaming at your phone, like I've seen telling black people to stand up and be a human shield for Hispanic and Latino people when they would never, ever, 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 ever do the same for you collectively. If it was an issue that was affecting just black people, beefing for real. And my thing is, everybody's like, well, what happens when it happens to y'all? It's already happened to us. And if anything starts popping off again, we'll do what we got to do at that time. But right now, y'all being targeted, and I'm not doing nothing for you because you wouldn't do nothing for me. Period. And I just find it to be crazy that I see black people doing this, but it's always the same type of black people that I see doing it. Black people that literally have all of this energy for everybody, but black people, even being black, they'll be like, oh yeah, we need to fight for this cause, we need to fight for that cause, we need to fight for this and that and that and that. And then when you ask them, okay, so what direct causes are you fighting for you, black people, or even if you're a black woman, what causes are you fighting directly that affect only black women? Then they don't know nothing. No, none.
I want
I
to add
just,
to that.
yeah.
You're so smart that you said that. And it brings back when Kamala Harris was voting. I got a lot of backlash on TikTok. I don't do a lot. I don't do a lot. But when she said black people, who said I'm gonna do anything for black people? And she said, I'm like, nah, she off the ballot for me. I've lost jobs saying I'm not working with anybody who's racist. I'm not doing it. But then you think about it, like you're missing opportunities sometimes if we don't learn how to play the game because they're playing the game like, but it doesn't seem like either way is working for us because there's literal black men going out, like I mentioned before, completely publicly rejecting and humiliating anything black women, black hair, black skin, black women, any of that, black neighborhoods, black issues, whether that's poverty, unemployment, even for black men being the number one unemployed. They will not bring this up publicly. And so knowing that we have all these issues, black men have literally said, most popular ones and celebrities, we're not bringing up black issues. I'm not going to bring up black issues because this is my way through the door. I mean, there was this one, I forgot his name. I can't believe I forgot his name, but he said, I don't care about black issues. I got my white wife and I'm going to try to run for Congress. I think he was part of the Trump team and he wanted to be part of the cabinet and they never elected or helped him do it. He wanted to be the Florida mayor, governor. It didn't happen. So all of this happened, but we literally have the sellouts. We have so many of them, but they're strategically, I'm wondering, is that what we're all doing? Are we surviving by rejecting anything black? Is that what the Latinos are doing? Are they surviving by rejecting anything black? Is that survival?
I mean, me personally, even if it would be that they thought that it was survival, black people are the number one targets, and they don't do that. Black people are still the most inviting, in my opinion. That's the reason why everybody plays in our face. Oh, all somebody got to do is rap some lyrics, and now all of a sudden they your best buddy, and they need to be at the cookout, and they need to do this, that, and the third. So my thing is that black people never rejected anybody, collectively. The only time black people really started, like saying, hey, you know what, we're not gonna do this no more is recently because hey, how many times can you play in somebody's face before they just catch on? And I think that with this last election and how all the things that people were saying, that made some black people. I was always on this type of time, but I do know that it took other black people a little bit longer to get the drift and be like, oh, okay, no, y'all really don't like us. No, y'all really aren't friends to us, because that's why I never liked the term people of color, and then including black people in it. We ain't no people of color. People of color always look down on black people. The thing is that is everybody else is a person of color except black people. So everybody else gets this type of idea that, hey, you know what? At least we not black. At least we not black. So it's just like, yeah, no, I'm not helping none of y'all, nobody, not protesting for you, not going to no rallies, not making no posts. I won't even make a post. I won't say anything. The majority of y'all voted for that man and y'all deal with it. Period. Y'all, any other time black people talk about anything, y'all got something to say. Y'all always trying to hate on black people, trying to say that y'all started rap, y'all started hip hop, y'all started braids and baby hairs and all of this other stuff, and diminish and degrade black people. But then when y'all need somebody to make some noise for y'all, here y'all go trying to shame black people. Man, get out of my face and go move around and go ask those white tea people that y'all idolize so much and that y'all say is the best. Go ask them, but y'all won't. And that's the thing. That's what I feel like also with biracial people. How biracial people always talk about, oh, black people didn't accept me that much. Black people didn't do this. Black people didn't do that. Why y'all never talking about the white tea people that out and out will call you the N-word and say you a half N-word and get out my face and say all type of crazy things? But y'all talk about black people instead. Nobody ever talks about the real people that really get crazy. They want to go for the wink link black people because they know everybody already don't like us and they'll just automatically start dogpiling on us. So like I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not protesting for nobody. And proud black woman in the comments said, "Don't protest for black men." I'm gonna tell you what, I protested for black men. The last time I did that and went to a rally was probably um man, like 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah,
I said
me
I would
too.
never ever do it ever again. After I started seeing, I think one of the main turning points for me is that I don't know if y'all remember this young black woman, but she was at the BLM protests and she had ended up losing her place to live or something like that. And there was a black man down there, and he told her that he said, "Hey, if you need a place where you want to wash up and stuff and relax real fast, no strings. I won't do anything to you. I can take you to my place." Like because he was an older man and she was like 19. I forgot her name. And he ended up raping her and unaliving her. And the
What?
response from black men when that young woman was down there helping black men, just all I saw online, that made me be like, I would never do it again. I would never, ever, ever do it again. And I think that another one that really turned me, I don't know if y'all remember Corin Gaines and how she was unalived by the police, and the
Yes.
response from black men versus how they respond when a black man gets unalived and he was doing something he ain't got no business doing. Those things like turn me off. I said never again. That is when I went from like pro black like to just pro black woman. That is really
Hmm.
what turned me. Those things, and I remember those things, and I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm Gucci. Never again will I ever publicly defend a black man unless I know him personally. If I know you and I know that you're a good man and you're good quality, but these men that I don't know, never, never, ever, 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 ever again. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. So if I'm not protesting for black men, right? Why the heck do you think I'm about to protest for some Hispanics and some Latinos that don't like me? Man, be for real. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Couldn't be me. No, absolutely not. Let me go over here to I think it was it so was it Special K first or was it
Yeah.
Calandra?
It's special.
Okay, go ahead, Special K. Go ahead, sis. Good morning. And then I'll go to Calandra and then Jewel.
Go. You can go to Calandra and then you can come back to me because I'm getting in my car right now.
Okay, no problem, sis. No problem. All right, I'll go down here to Calandra and then Special K and then Jewel. Go ahead, Calandra, sis.
I definitely agree with what you just said because for me, I feel like a lot of other people of color definitely like have those same racist beliefs that white people have. Like for example, when Asian Americans sued for affirmative action and it was overturned, and they were getting online saying, now you black women can't get into nursing school with a 2.5 GPA. When have we ever been able to do that? Like you thinking that the reason why you're not getting accepted into college and you're blaming black people, and it's kind of like the reason why you didn't get accepted is because your parents didn't have money to donate to the school. That don't have anything to do with us. And then on top of that, they just have a lot of beliefs and stuff, and then they just start thinking they white people. Like, honey, you're not, and you never will be. And then the fact that you voted for that man and you didn't have that for your Latino brethren really needs to be studied within y'all community, because why did y'all go out there and do that? But yeah, that's my thoughts.
All right, Calandra. All right, let me go up here to Special K and then Miss Jones.
Yeah, I was I was about to speak on the fact that they want us to come out and help us as if we're still not continuing to go through, issues in the black community. Black women are consistently still oppressed, consistently still going through things, and for them to come in and expect us to step up for them, and they still have yet to step up for us in our issues when it comes to medical things, when it comes to financial things, that when it comes to our the abuse that comes up in our community, they haven't stepped up and spoke out for us. So why is it that with this situation that they face, which is I'm not saying that I'm happy that they're going through it, but at the same time, sometimes sometimes people have to go through the same thing that another person goes through in order to understand that understand the plight of other people. And I think that that's what they're facing now. And just as we had to face these things alone, and be by ourselves, they're going to have to do the same thing. It just is what it is. And I'm like, what is the benefit in us stepping up for other people? There is no benefit, because as soon as we step up, guess what? Now we're in trouble. Now we're going through issues as well. Now we have added on to our plight. So that's what I wanted to say. They voted for they voted for that man to get in office. They knew the detriment. They, like, I even had coworkers that they were saying, oh, both Kamala and Trump are evil. And I'm just like, how? Like, show me where she's done something to affect Americans. Show me those things. And they would bring up, all of the false narratives that, were being passed on by the Republican Party. And I guess I shouldn't even say that, because they're going to start, coming in. But by that party, they were putting out false narratives just so that they can trick people, and they fell for it. They fell for the trick. They voted for him and things like that, or they voted third party, which was dumb. You have to be strategic when it comes down to
Hey, Kamisha,
voting. And yeah,
I will say that Kamala, she was doing some bogus things when she was
Yeah.
over there. I just want to say that I think that we can't miss that. She was doing some things that she wasn't supposed to do. I do think that she would have been a better option than Trump, of course, but she was doing some things she ain't had no business doing. I think that yeah.
everything I heard that she was doing, when you go and you actually look up the things that they said that she was doing, she wasn't doing it. So when I hear people, saying that, I'm just like, okay, but when you fact check it, or when you go and you do your research, those were lies. They were actual lies. I don't
there's some
know.
things that I fact checked that she was doing, but I don't want to make this a debate about her, because this ain't
Right,
about her.
right,
And it's too late. She's already gone. But yeah, I just
right.
want to say that. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, sis. All right, I'm gonna go down here to Miss Jump, and then I'll go to Momo. Go ahead, Miss Jump. And just like somebody said in the comments, that's all politicians. Yes, I totally agree. I don't think there's a single politician that has clean hands. Not any of them. Even the ones we may like. Go ahead, Miss Jump. Are you there, sis? I sent you a request to turn your mic on. Oh, let's see. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with Miss Jump. If you need to drop and come back, you can. I'm gonna go over here to Momo. Go ahead, Momo.
Hey, good morning. It's been a while.
Morning. How
All
you
right,
doing?
I'm good. I was just saying good morning. How are you? It's been a while, but
Oh yeah.
I got 2 points. Do you mind?
You said what now? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I have 2 points. Do you mind? I'm not gonna stay long, but I
Oh
have
no,
two
go
points I
ahead. Go
want to
ahead,
make.
sis. Go ahead.
Okay,
Express
so the
yourself.
first point, like you said, I actually know some politicians personally, and no, it's a dirty game. I'm afraid of them. Actually, all politicians. None of them can make it and keep their hands and nose totally clean. Um as far as Kamala, whew, um I have no grace for Trump supporters, but I'm trying to find grace for third party non-voters and and people to just set it out. But I'm just say this, we had two options. And how we can hear one thing that she said, no politician is ever going to make it saying this is what I'm going to do solely for black people. She wouldn't have had a fighting chance. But the policies that she did have in place would have greatly benefited anybody who took advantage of them. And we looked at that and looked at that other demon and said, "Nah, I can't vote for her. I just can't. I ain't gonna be able to do it because I don't like that. Sometimes we outsmart ourselves, overthinking it." That was the only alternative. And we had him after we've seen the chaos and confusion he brought to us last time. We had them, and then we had this very experienced woman, and we said, nah, I ain't gonna be able to do it. But moving on, as far as the others, the other PLCs, they're consistent anti blackness. And it didn't start with this election. First of all, it's cultural. You go anywhere in the world where there are darker hued parts of them and they get treated like trash. Their caste systems and cultures worldwide. So
True.
no, we owe them nothing. We owe them nothing. They voted after he put their babies in cages.
Yeah.
His support increased, and how we figured that was an option, how they figured that was an option, and now Mammy and us as usual. Now they want us to be the cleanup woman, the women, and the cleanup crew to come clean up a mess they intentionally made. Don't do it. Oh, and the last thing I wanted to say, there was another creator that was on here. She's an attorney. I'll share it with you later, Trigger, if you like. They just Trump removed the corrupt cop database. He has halted all lawsuits against them, and he's employed some of the best law firms to fight against us. Now you got top law firms going against our pro bono attorneys if a cop does us dirty. Do you really think it's in our best interest to even think about going out there? Don't do it. Stand down. Let them figure it out. Send them prayers, concepts, sorrows, whatever you need to do, but don't take your ass out there and put yourself in harm's way, because you will have no remedy. Zero. And I land.
All right, Momo. Okay, so let me go over here to I think it's M1 and then my girl Supervillain. Go ahead, M1 or A1.
Uh,
Sorry about that.
yes, I'm 51. You know, I'm blessed to still have my pops and my mother in my life. So, you know, they used to tell me some stories. It's easy access now because it's GPT, it's just the internet. But I wonder if everybody on the panel is aware that Mexican Americans, they went all the way to the Supreme Court specifically and argued for the right to be classified as white. Mexican Americans, whenever a Mexican American in the United States is born,
Yes.
their race on their birth certificate is white. And they
Right.
specifically, yeah, they specifically fought all the way to Supreme Court to be classified as that.
Yep.
And it's that's why I say history is so important, because when they say that before that, Mexican Americans were always considered third class citizens in the country. They were. You had white schools during Jim Crow, you had black schools, and then you had brown schools. African American, the black folks, we get all the textbooks and stuff after the white people were finished with them. And then the Mexicans would get them when we were done with them. But, you know, in every aspect of society, that's what happened. And after they were classified as white, that's when they gained access to, go to medical school, law schools, so forth and so on. And it's a wonder. So for me, when I look at it in the historical sense, I mean, of course they don't like us. No one does. And yeah, no one does. And see, whether they're Asian, whether they're here in Japan, China, or whatever other ethnic group, they've all shown, like our historians have said, they've all shown, given the opportunity, they will benefit off our struggle and then snub their nose at us. So I just don't understand why some black folks always had this mentality of they want to help everybody else. How about we help ourselves and let everybody else fight their own fight? And I'll land with this. You have certain individuals on here like that brother Conscious Lee, right? See, I'm a big believer in listening to my elders who are experts in this, right? Which he isn't one. He's not my elder. He's not an expert. But, you know, all this about, well, they're going to do it to us next. Well, if they are, nothing's going to stop them. And again, we'll be fighting that same fight for ourselves. We'll worry about that right now and then deal with it when they come along. As far as everybody else, man, I say the hell with them.
All
I
right,
land with that.
all right, A1. I mean, in my opinion, like I said, you guys already, I just feel like I'm not off too much far off with what anybody's saying. Exactly like what Momo said is they did it to us first and they will continue to do it to us. It's not like we're in any more danger than we already are. Black people are already in a lot of danger. But I think a lot of times black people are so used to getting gaslit where people tell you that, oh, you're not in danger. Oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, you're a victim. Oh, this, that, and the third, that some black people have begun to internalize that and really feel like they're not in the dangerous position that they're in. Like we're literally on hostile territory every day when you wake up and go outside. You know what I'm saying? Every day when you go outside, that you're at risk being a black person. And I'm just not with helping anybody else that would never help me. Like I just it's just insane. Go ahead, supervillain.
Hey Trey, thank you so much for having me. Great prompt. First of all, housekeeping. Y'all get the likes to what Trig deserves. We're having a great conversation. I want to piggyback off you and A1. The absolute thing that irritates the top of the split in my behind is when I hear them say, well, after us, who you think they're coming next? Who do you think they're coming next for? It is so disingenuous because not that we are the first that they went after, but I don't know, Trig, maybe you can explain to me, did racism and discrimination take a lunch break while ICE did their raids or something? Like we're not already living what they have and are going to do to us. Racism didn't take a break because they went on ICE raids. So when they say that, that goes to show you right there, they do not care about your plight. Because if they did, they would understand even while raids are going on, black people are still being oppressed and discriminated against. They don't care about you. They just want your help. By the way, the election showed them because this is what really gets non-black people in the chokehold. Being non-black does not equal being YT. And that is what's going to get them every single time because they feel because they are non-black, that automatically makes them white tea. No. And the election and whatever they're doing now, they are learning that lesson the hard way. We tried to tell them, we tried to give them the spoiler alert, but because we, the experts in the oppression of the United States, know what we're talking about, they took it for granted because we are saying it from a black mouth. So I just want to throw that in there. Like a lot of these people thought because they were non-black that it meant proximity to whiteness. By the way, in a world where whiteness is currency, it's supposed to be exclusive. That's the jig. The jig is that you'll never attain it. You're going to keep wanting white tea proximity, and the reason why it's so valuable is because it's exclusive. They're telling you no, that's the value. When we finally understand and realize that that is literally the jig of the game, maybe we can move on. Maybe we won't put white tea-ness on a pedestal. I say all the time, I don't understand, just in politics and everything, but the proximity to white tea-ness, that obsession, I will never understand. Y'all know these people used to eat us, right?
Well,
These,
it's fear. It's
hold on,
fear.
hold on. Y'all know these people, and the parts that they couldn't eat, y'all know these people, the parts they couldn't digest, like our bones and our hair, they made us out of furniture, right? Like, if y'all want to be so proximal to white tea people, there is no way to be more proximal than being consumed. There is no way to be more proximal than our ancestors literally in their living room right now. So, again, I don't understand the obsession. I'm going to end with this. People do need to understand politics, and not just on a presidential or Congress level, but a local level. I just saw a town hall meeting the other day where the woman was crying because a lot of the kids don't get school lunch. Do y'all know she pulled the budget for her local town hall, and their budget to decorate the office was about 3 times as much as the school lunch budget for the county? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? They are spending, or they are allotted more money to decorate an office that most people don't even walk into. I don't know about y'all, but most people don't even know where their local town hall is. They're allotted more money to decorate than the whole county's school budget for lunch for the year. I don't know if you know how many schools are in a county, but it's at least 10 to 13. So people need to understand, like, people come up here and get mad about food stamps and Medicaid and things like that, which is literally not even 20% of our taxes that's being pulled. However, these politicians their kids are going to school for free. They literally get everything discounted and they're being paid astronomical salaries. Y'all are mad at the wrong thing. And I just want to say, land with that. Thank you, Trig. I yield.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I mean, like I said, I know we're talking about a lot of different things as far as the government goes, and I understand what a lot of y'all are saying, but I guess I probably have a different mind frame of a lot of things because I really do believe that a lot of things is out of our control because I do believe that we live in an oligarchy. So I don't believe that a lot of things that some other people think that we can do to change things will ever really change. If it hasn't changed now, in your generation, your mom's generation, your grandma's generation, or your grandma's generation, I think we have to think and realize that it's not going to change no matter how hard you do a lot of these things. But I do understand everybody's perspective. But the only thing I wanted to make clear for topic number 2 is that if you're a black person, I very rarely am concerned with black men, to be honest. But in this particular instance, I am. If you're a black woman or you're a black man, if you are out there protesting for ICE and all of these things, you are the dumbest person that I've ever seen. Like, honestly, because they would never, ever do it for you collectively. They would not. They have not. Historically, they have not done that. So why would you do that now? I have no idea. Go ahead, Lexi. Did you have something to say, sis?
I did. I think she was mentioning a whole lot of stuff. I'm not about to go through each point because it was just a lot. But just if we're going to try to understand where a lot of the Spaniards and Mexicans and even white Latinos and white Hispanics, where they get the gall to say, I don't want to be black, I'm white, because they are white. And we're the only separate group globally from everyone else. Asians, yeah, they know that they're genetically cousins to the Caucasian. Like, we don't want to sit and read. We just want to look at politics and polls when we're never included in the issues. But she mentioned something about she doesn't understand why they don't want to be considered anything other than white is because how we're presented in history and how we're presented throughout the world. I'll just name 3 things. 1, how black men treat us. 2, how we're constantly being unalived by our own men, and that's going global. And the government, police officers, they don't respect black people. They're constantly murking black men, putting knees in the neck, and that affected all of us. It offended all of us so much. Even the women went to the BLM movements. I wrote articles, went to different TV stations talking about this and that, and then I find out the folks that I was working with, you got 4 or 5 white wives? Are you kidding? You're polygamous? And then I did more research. I'm finding out the Black Panther Party, Cleaver, he was a rapist and things like that. It's like, okay, we are really, black women particularly, are being depicted as in a tough situation because our men are not portraying themselves as leaders. But again, just wanted to add that if we're going to keep talking about why do people want to be white, because they don't want to be black. You basically explained how black people are being used as furniture. I haven't seen one provable anything. I saw photos and images. I don't know who did that. I don't know if it was some crazy white person doing that, but you're not even mentioning how many warriors, how many kings, how many black men and women slaughtered the mess out of the English, the French. They were terrified of us. And we had our entire identities and tribes removed from us, being called only Negroes. Do you know what tribe you're from? Have you done the research? Where's your family from? You have to first do your own research. And I'm figuring out once you do that, you get more pride about yourself. But as long as we keep listening to those stories talking about our bodies and we're so victimized that our bodies and skin is used as cloth. It was a whole president that took slaves' teeth, right, and put them in his mouth. And you should have known this a long time ago. But that doesn't mean all of us were like that.
Lexi,
Yeah.
I just want to interject. I don't think that Supervillain was trying to say that black people were victims. I think that she was just trying to say a lot of the things that have happened to us to make sure that we realize that these are not our friends and these are not people that we can rely on to do anything to support us. I think that's really where she was going at, but I'll let her, speak because I can't speak for
I
her.
mean, if that's
But
the
you know
case,
what I'm
I get
saying?
it. I get it, but
Yeah, I
there's
think
also
that's what she was saying.
propaganda and it's fear.
I
Who
don't
would
think that
want
a lot of it's propaganda because it did happen.
some of it
For
did,
sure.
but it also
So
makes them look really powerful when they're not.
I mean, I personally think that it makes them look like monsters, but that's just me. I
I
feel
don't
like
think
it
they're
makes them
that
look like
bad.
monsters. But you said what?
I don't think they're badass like that. I don't.
I mean, no.
From the
What I
history
think,
I've read.
but see, I'm not talking about that. What I think is that it makes them seem like monsters, that they're capable of great evil and great harm. That
Hmm.
doesn't mean they have to be strong because what I feel like they are is bullies. They wait until they have a group of them more than you, where they have some type of way, and then they can take advantage. But if you see, like, in when it's a one-up situation, one-on-one, you see what happens. So no, I don't think that. I'm not saying that they're badass or whatever, but what I'm saying is, yes, I do think that they have a propensity to cause great harm and damage to anybody if they choose to. I think that their minds go to truly debauched and insane things if given the opportunity. But
But
beyond that, the thing I wanted to say before I forgot, that don't have nothing with either you or Supervillain was saying, is that I want black women to understand, because like I said, I'm always concerned with black women the most. Well, not even the most, completely and only. Is that when you think about, if you're a black woman and you're thinking about going out there and the protesting for ICE and all of these type of things, think about this. When you hear black femicide, when you hear people talk about that, what's the color of the person and what's the gender of the person that you see that discusses black femicide, that says, hey, it's a problem about black femicide, it's a problem about our sisters losing our lives? I can guarantee you 9 times out of 10, it's a black woman doing it. You don't see these people that want you to go out there and be a human shield. Talking about black femicide and talking about how black women are 6 times more likely to be unalived by a man than white T women, or the fact that black women make up 10% of the female population, yet 59 to 60% of all unalivings of women. I can guarantee you that you don't hear anybody talking about that but black women. So when you think about that, who cares about your actual life and what's happening to you, then that should tell you all that you need to know that you need to stay your behind at home. Now we can get back on track. Lexi and Supervillain, with y'all like going back and forth, because like I said, I see both of them. I see what you mean, Lexi, that you just don't want black people to look at themselves as powerless, that just white tea people can just do whatever and you just cower in a corner and you just accept it. I get that, but then I also get Supervillain's perspective that, we also need to know the mentality and what links the enemy is willing to go to as well. So I mean, I get both of y'all. I'll just say that I get both of y'all. I really, really do. I'm gonna let Supervillain rebut to you, Lexi, and then you can respond to her if you like. Go ahead, Supervillain, if you want to.
Thank you, Trig. And I wouldn't even consider this a rebuttal. I am here not to change anyone's mind. I have ceased, me with the intellectual and the emotional labor. I do not do it. My point to bring up the atrocities that have happened to black people in America is to explain that them wanting proximity to whiteness, like it's of great value, knowing all the things that were done, doesn't make sense. I also mentioned before that the point of white tea being of value is because it's exclusionary. The point is that they exclude most people, and that's what makes it valuable. That's why the race to want to be proximal to white teeness does not make sense. Now, whether you believe these things happened or not, I am not here to convince you, and I will never invalidate your experience.
that's not what I said, though.
And you also said things that I didn't say in a way, but again, I'm not going to invalidate your experience, nor am I going to interrupt you. However, that's the reason why I brought those things up. I never once ever said black people are not powerful or tried to use it as a fear mongering tactic. I was even going to say black people are very powerful. One of the most powerful things they have done in America, by the way, is the Montgomery bus boycott. Now it's nothing about throwing spears or pew pewing, but that is one of the greatest effects in American history. Us simply not participating and making the sacrifice almost bankrupt a whole part of a nation. Please believe the only reason why the segregation on the buses ever stopped is because they were losing money. It was never about morality. If black people actually took it further and opened up their own bus routes, we probably be in a different state right now. So it is never ever my thing to say that black people aren't powerful. I was just pointing out that white T-ness is not as great as everybody wants to make it seem. And I don't understand the proximity to this. By the way, I definitely know what tribe I'm from. I'm from one of the proudest tribe in human history, which is the Igbo tribe from Nigeria. And I travel to Nigeria every 2 years. My father's Nigerian, by the way. In case, because you did ask me, do I know my tribe? I'm from one of the most proudest tribes in the world. That is the Igbo tribe of Nigeria. Thank you, Trey. I yield.
Okay, no problem, supervillain. I honestly, I just want to say, since I always respect your opinion. I know you, so I understood what you were trying to say, and I know how you think about us as black people, and I know that you meant nothing but positive things, and you were just trying to get us to understand. So I just wanted to say that I understand where you were coming from. I'm gonna go down here to Nova XXX.
Well, let me respond to her so I can get off really quickly.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes because I got to get Nova.
Probably less than that.
Okay.
But when she mentioned something to you don't understand why people want to be in the proximity of whiteness, that was my response. It's fear mongering. You said,
Okay,
"Oh, that's not."
listen. I just want to say this. I've never talked to you before. I've never seen you before on the live. Supervillain is always here. She's a very beautiful, intelligent woman. I think you're ascribing things to her that's not true. It's you. I feel like I'm getting like an almost aggressive tone from you directed towards her. I don't know why, but whatever feelings that you feel is misdirected. I would feel that to who we're talking about, that should be where you should be directing that type of energy, not towards another black sister on here that's enduring the same things that we all are. I feel some type of way about it.
I don't
And I'm
want
going
you
to
to feel
protect the
any
sister
type
that's
of
on
way.
me.
You
Okay.
can protect her. You can leave me isolated because I'm almost well equipped. Even
Okay,
more.
well then if you're
Wait.
you're
Let me
isolated, you have a
respond.
great day. No,
Okay.
you have a great day, Lexi, all right? Because that's what we're not gonna do, okay? So you have a great day and you can go take that energy somewhere else because I feel it. So I don't know what your deal is or what you got going on, but I feel the energy and your energy is misdirected. I That's another problem that I have. You're here to talk about how strong black people were and how black people are warriors, and I'm not saying that that's not true. But it's funny that the energy that you're directing is towards another fellow black woman. You got a lot of attitude directed to her. You go ahead and go on some white tea panels where they talk that stuff because I see them all the time and I hit not interested. Go take that energy to them. The fact that we're having a conversation and you want to direct that type of aggressive energy towards another black woman is not going to be tolerated, especially to a black woman that I know does nothing but uplift. I'm not going to let you do it. So you can go ahead and exit and respectfully don't come back. All right? Don't ever come back. And for anybody that says, "Oh, they were just having a conversation," I'm sensitive to energy. My intuition is on point. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me, but you're not going to tell me about what I feel in my spirit. And I didn't like it, and she had to go. It's just that simple. And then my thing is that if I don't know you, this is my first time you being up on my panel and you think you finna be coming at another black woman, that's what we're not going to do. Because I already said plenty of times that this is a safe space for black women and black women alone, and it's for black women to get along and us to be positive and love on each other. And we can disagree. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a couple things that Momo said that I didn't necessarily totally agree with, but I wasn't over there giving her nasty energy because I respect her and I respect her right to think and understand and feel how she feel. Like, it's just that simple. I'm not with that. I'm not with that. I'm sorry. You're not gonna do that. So you got to go. So take that warrior spirit and please bless us all and take that to the white tea man and give that to them because they're the ones that deserve it. Okay, go ahead, Nova XXX. You can go ahead. Let me send you a. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I think that was so good what you just said there, and I just want to say a kara to the supervillain and hello to everybody because I am feeling this aggression, and this is not helping our strong black, brown, melanated sisterhood.
All right. Nova, I appreciate that. And I definitely agree with you. I mean, I don't know, y'all. Like that just kind of threw me off. Like it just threw me off. And yeah, and then another thing is that Nova that was up here, no disrespect to Nova that just came up, but that she wasn't American. So in this particular instance, I just wanted to talk about having people that live in America, their thought processes on what's going on, respectfully. So I think what I'm gonna do, you guys, is I'm gonna let everybody else finish, and well, let me just go up to A1, and then I'll go to Momo, and then I'll go to Supervillain, and I'll say what I was gonna say. Go ahead, A1.
No, it's this term that they coined. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. If any of y'all heard of it, it's called a Dunning-Kruger effect. Well, what it is a person to read 2 or 3, even 4 or 5 books and on a particular subject, and then all of a sudden, they're an expert on it, right? And that's where I believe that energy was coming from. I'll say this, Mrs. Trigger, like, I'm gonna leave it alone. I mean, yeah, I'm laying with that. I'll just say,
No, what was you gonna say? What was you gonna tell me?
uh, you know, I agree and disagree with my sisters on a variety of issues, right? Sometimes it's hard to have discussions on any other subject because, you get people like Lexi up here, right? We're talking about this, what's going on with these Mexicans and other Hispanic slash Latino, whatever the hell you want to call them, right? It sometimes just irks them that we're talking about this specific issue. I know how to compartmentalize, right? Meaning, I know when I'm typically on TikTok, sisters be having their panels, quote unquote, a safe space for them. I stay in my lane, right? But sometimes because of individuals like that, you can't have a discussion about anything because first thing they can bring up is how a black man ain't doing something right. I'm like, damn, man.
I mean, A1, I've never talked to you before. You never been on here, but this is a space for black women. It's not really a pity party for black men. If black men were doing better collectively, then black women wouldn't have anything to say. If black women weren't being unalived and ex-trafficked by black men, they wouldn't have anything to say. If black women weren't being degraded all the time and put down by black men and everybody else, black women wouldn't have anything to say. They wouldn't have any rage to feel. If black women were being protected and not being left as single mothers and then shamed for keeping a child, then the black women wouldn't have anything to say. And I think this whole thing about disagreeing with sisters and all of this stuff is just BS, because the majority of things that black women complain about is not something that is something that we can argue and debate on. It's something that's fact, statistical fact. The thing about black women being, essayed, abused, ex-trafficked, being left as single mothers, being disrespected, being unalived, all of these things are very, very, very easy to fact check on your own. You know what I'm saying? And then the things where we talk about the interpersonal relationships that black women have with black men when they come and say, hey, they've been treated this way or that way. Every black woman that I've talked to has some type of story. So it's got to be, even though those things sometimes can be, person to person. I'm losing the word of what I'm trying. Anecdotal, yeah. But I find that to not even be the case, because every black woman has a story. So if you feel some type of way about that, I just can't help you. But you have a great day. Okay, goodbye. Yeah, because this isn't the place for that, and for you either. So I'm gonna challenge you to go to like-minded black men that are into politics or discussing whatever, and then y'all make a change and y'all do something in this country. Like to actually do something, and don't just fight for the right to date and marry white tea women like y'all did, but also fight for y'all rights to where y'all can actually be seen as viable members of society, as be respected as men, instead of going against black women and being upset about their own personal experiences. So you can go ahead and go do that right along with Lexi. All right. Have a great day. Go ahead, Momo.
Hey, I have nothing but respect for you. Thank you. And I'm not here to be, adversarial or contrarian. I just wanted us to realize that some of us, by sitting out this election and even voting third party, we fed into this.
I mean, see, and that's what I would say that I had disagreed with you on, because I don't believe that it is right to tell people, especially black people, that this is a democracy, we have a choice to choose who we vote for, and then shame people that didn't vote for who you want to.
I
It's,
agree.
we're both, but that's not right. That's not a
I
good
can
thing to
agree
do.
with
So
that.
basically you're saying, hey, just vote. If you, as long as you vote for what I say and what we think, then you're Gucci. But if not, then there's a problem. That's not democracy. And
No,
and
that's
number
not where I was
two,
coming from.
but
That's not where I was trying to
and
come
then
from.
number two, I also wanted to say is that I think a lot of times there are plenty of things that Biden, Kamala, and when we're under Biden's administration, things that were put in place that were a direct slap in the face to black people. So I wish that we would stop acting like Biden or Kamala, like everything was going to be great for black people there. Now, I will say that I do think that they would be better than Trump, of course. But
That's
I
all I
think
was
that
saying. That was my point.
but see,
Like,
that's my thing, is that
they
if black
weren't
people,
perfect,
but let
but
me stop.
compared to what he's doing,
Okay, let me just say this. What I'm trying to say is that if we always tell people in society, hey, you know what? It's the lesser of two evils. The lesser of two evils. This is all we got. This is all we got. Yeah, they give us two bad options. Yeah, they give us two options that don't look good, that neither of us really like. But you know what? We gotta choose one. We gotta choose one. We gotta choose one. And that just lulls you into a false sense of security and accepting whatever's there. So what I'm saying is that the better thing for any of us to do would be to actually try to fight against the party system that we have, because once again, we are living in an oligarchy. If you think that Trump, or you think that Biden, or you think that Kamala, or you think that any of these people are the ones that are truly calling all the shots, I just don't know what to tell you. I have some land to show you, and I will make you a billionaire. All you have to do is Cash App $20,000 to protect BW on Cash App. Like, honestly, I just don't like, sometimes it seems like black people that actually are forward thinking and are not believing what the government has told us is the acceptable way to do, is I don't know, I just feel it's a form of brainwashing. I really do. I feel like it's a form of brainwashing, and I encourage any black person to think forward thinking. Because what you see is not what you are getting in America. And if you don't know that with the history of America, I just don't know what to say. You can't trust anything that they're saying. Um, but let me go up here, and I'm going to add this new person up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end the live, you guys, because
I didn't go, Trick.
oh, sorry, supervillain. Go ahead. I'm so sorry, sis. Go ahead, sis.
No
I'm so
problem.
sorry.
First, I want to thanks for the assist. I will always protect my sister, and my sister will always protect me. I didn't.
Absolutely.
I didn't really feel no way about it. I really wasn't even paying attention to her, but apparently there was aggression. I do want to say, me stating what has happened, that has actually been fact checked to the black bodies, is not saying that black people are weak. We should never be ashamed of what happened to us. The victimizers should be the ones that's ashamed. And this is the reason why I scrolled the other day and there's this trend saying that Harriet Tubman wasn't a real person. It's because they are taking black history out of schools, and we as black people are not passing down the stories to our children. I told y'all, the way, I don't know if y'all seen on TikTok lately, the way a lot of these black men, but I'm starting to see it's
Oh,
also
sorry,
black women.
supervillain. I'm sorry, supervillain. Sorry, sis. I didn't know that Lexi was still in the comments. Ma'am, I'm gonna go ahead and block you. I don't know why you're still here. Like, if you've been dropped, like, and it's serious for me to do that, and I don't do that very often to black women. I do it to men all the time, but not black women. If it's that serious that I drop you, it means that there was a major problem. And I don't want to have any further discussion with you. So I'm going to go ahead and block you now, Lexi. You have a great day, and have a great life. And I hope you're successful in all your future endeavors. But as to here, you're blocked. Okay, go ahead, supervillain. Sorry.
problem. And if I did sound aggressive, I want to apologize to all. Again, my
You
father
did
raised.
not. You did not. You did not sound
Okay.
aggressive at all.
Because, Trig, my father raised me to be a strong black man. That's why I'm such a masculine sounding woman. I did want to say this is why a lot of this trend about Harriet Tubman not being a real person is going around. We are not passing down the stories of our history. I was just saying black men have been doing this a lot lately, but I'm starting to see a lot of black women, hoteps, also doing this. Um, it's going to be in about 10 years where they're going to start saying that slavery didn't exist. They're going to act like we were brought here as a one-way trip to the Americas for tourism. The way that they are talking, because they don't want to sound like they were subjugated. It is amazing to me the things that I am hearing about. They are saying everything is fake, which it is not. And I don't make everything about slavery, but I'm going to make one thing clear. Slavery is what made America a superpower and economical power. They like to convince you that it was tobacco, but it was definitely the stolen labor of the African people and their descendants that made this country. If they were picking peas, they would have been a superpower. So don't ever let them convince you it was tobacco or cotton. It was the stolen wages from the enslaved people they brought over here and their descendants. I also want to say us not participating right now, what we're doing with Target is almost, not quite, but almost to the success of what the Montgomery boycott did. Let me tell you something. One thing you're not going to do is mess with these people's money. And I know it doesn't seem like anything right now, but when they retell history, they're going to say when black women or black people pulled out of Target, one of the biggest conglomerates in American history, they're going to know they were bankrupt because black people pulled out. Just like how black people pulled out of taking the bus and they had to get right and do right. This is the same thing that's going to happen. Sometimes when history is happening, it doesn't seem that big until you retell it. Black people, we have to continue to stop participating in these things that are not going to be fair to us. We may not have the pew pew or that power yet, but we definitely have the power to pull out, and it is making an impact. We got to keep strong and keep doing it and stay united in that fact. Thank you, Trick, so much for this space. Y'all give her to the like she deserves. This is a wonderful space to have great, intelligent conversation. Thank you. I yield, Trick.
Okay, no problem, sis. All right. Let me go up here to and I definitely agree with you. And once again, I just want to reiterate, no, you weren't being aggressive or anything. I don't know what was up with her, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know. I've literally seen chairs with black people's hair in it. So I really don't know what she was on. I feel like the next thing she was about to say is, that lady that went viral for saying Harriet Tubman wasn't a real person, that black lady. I feel like that was the next thing that she was going to say. Let me stop. All right. Go ahead, Loving. Go ahead, Loving, then Kay, and then Cookie. Let me send your request to turn your mic on just in case you can't. Loving.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I've been up here before, but I was under a different account. My account got banned, so I'm back.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I just wanted to add to the conversation some things I just heard being mentioned. Some I agree with, of course, some that I don't. But I think the other ladies are, oh no, Supervillain is still here. But I think it's Momo. One of the things I wanted to say in regard to what Momo was saying is that I mean, I really do think, just like you said, we need to stop shaming Black people into participating in politics, because politics have not gotten us anywhere. It is not in our benefit. Even when we put people in places that look like us, it still does not benefit us. You have mayors literally selling out entire communities to gentrification, making our people homeless, literally stealing their properties, all types of things. So that is not the way that we need to be teaching the next generation to move forward, as if that's the only way, just simply accepting whichever is better. Joe Biden, in this last election, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris literally put Asian people on an endangered species list, okay? Made it a law for you to commit a crime against specifically Asian people, not just a hate crime against anyone, but specifically against Asian people, while Black people were being found in trees, truck drivers, while Black women were being shot down inside of their, I'm sorry to say that word, were being knocked down right inside of their homes, okay? Right under their noses, and all they had for us were statements. And we want to push people to go out and to elect these people and put them in a position over us to make decisions. The things that they were doing were not in benefit of the Black community any more so than what Trump is doing now.
Okay.
So I just feel like there needs to be a different angle. I don't know where is gonna come from other than Black women, because I don't have any faith in Black men. Like you, they are not my focus. And I'm the mother to a Black son. I have a Black husband. He's not American, but he is Black. I wouldn't be with a Black American man because that's just how much faith I have in them. None. I feel like part of the reason why we're even still here in this predicament where Black men are looked at as 3/5 of a man to this day is because of Black men and how they approach situations that have to pertain to Black people. So yeah, that's all I got to say for right now. I'll listen.
All right, loving. All right, I appreciate you, sis. All right, and expressing yourself. All right, I'm gonna go to Kay, then Cookie, then Brown, then Chrissy, and then Gino. I think that's the order that everybody was in, if I'm not mistaken. So Kay first, and I'll just call everybody's name as we're going. That way we won't get confused on there. Go ahead. And just what Loving said, I just want Loving to understand that I definitely agree. I am married to a Black man, a Black American man. Well, he's half. His dad is Nigerian, but he's American. He was raised by his mother. But I understand where you're coming from. I do. Let me go here to Kay. Kay first. Kay Kush. Yeah, go ahead,
Oh my
sis.
God. Good morning. I don't
Good
know what
morning.
time it is for you guys, but good morning. Um, Basically, I just wanted to kind of go on what both of the ladies said before me with what Supervillain was saying, how people are kind of just trying to erase history, or it's like with Black people attacking each other, in our community. That's really true. I was on a panel the other day, and somebody said that slavery was a choice, and then when everybody kind of went on him, he tried to say he was trolling. Are you trolling, or you be honest, bro? I'm pretty sure he was being honest. It's sad that our own people feel that way about our ancestors, and it's a slap in our like. I was always raised to respect my elders, so I feel like it's just a slap in the face to like our ancestors. Literally, what you guys were saying. Somebody said that Harriet Tubman wasn't a real person. That's insane because
Oh yeah,
she's literally
I
the
didn't
reason
say
why
that.
we
I just want to
exist.
say I didn't say that. It was just a lady that went viral here on TikTok. I
Yeah,
didn't say that.
no, I know you guys didn't. No, I'm talking about. I'm sorry, I should have watched my wording from a post.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. But yeah, that's crazy though. Like, I hope I never see that post ever because I'm gonna report it. But anyways, and also with dating Black men, it is difficult for me because that's like the main thing I'm attracted to because it's how I was raised. I mean, I'm a Black woman. Like, it's natural. I mean, and it's sad because they're not really for us, and the ones that are for us, they get represented wrong because everything is generalized nowadays. So I feel like with Black Americans protesting, I feel like some of us might want to, but because of history, we know how that goes. And we always fight for everybody else. You know what I mean? Who's fighting for us? People kind of did 2020 with the Black Lives Matter thing, but you know how that was a whole Ponzi scheme or whatever. I don't know. It's weird. We always gotta like beg, even though this whole country was built on our backs. Literally, slavery was the backbone of capitalism. Back to what Supervillain said. People don't want to give that its credit, but if it wasn't for us, I don't know. America's just one big experiment anyways, and we're literally just the lab rats. I feel like a lot of Black people are ready to riot. A lot of Black people are ready to kind of be in a civil WAR type thing. Me personally, I have a lot of elderly family members. I'd rather not. It would be heartbreaking for my grandfather to see things go back in time, but at the same time, like, I don't know what else there is for us to do besides fight for our rights.
Okay.
So I just feel like the fight doesn't have to be physical. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
Like
All
I feel
right.
like the fight could be with education, but I don't. I mean, I always said in order to change the system, you would have to infiltrate it. But who wants to change a system that was never meant for them? You know. So it's complicated, guys.
All right. All right. I got you, Kay. All right. So let me go up here to I think the next was Cookie and then Brown. Go ahead, Cookie. I'll give everybody to like 3 minutes to speak. That way I can get to everybody since we got a full house right now.
Okay. Hey, Trigger. Hey,
Hey
Super
sis.
Villain. Hey, everybody on the live panel. Yeah, I'm just glad we're talking about this because, to be honest, the whole trying to guilt trip Black Americans to come to the aid of the rescue, that we're not doing that because everybody, the problem is that they're inflicting the military on these people. So y'all want Black people to fight the military? Like, how does that even make sense? But it only makes sense because they feel they think our bodies are disposable. So they just feel like we should throw ourselves in danger because that's what we always do for the betterment of the whole community. Because everybody forgets that the only reason they have rights is because we fought for rights first. And when that guy did come up here and speak on them fighting to be labeled as YT, they did do that. I was on a panel last night about this subject, and a Puerto Rican came up, and he was a New Yorker Puerto Rican at that from the Bronx. So you already know he say the N word because I asked him, "Do you say the N word?" He like, "Yeah, I do," and I'm like, "Okay, so how dare you think that you're gonna be disrespectful like that? But then y'all want Black people to have all this, like you said, solidarity, but there's no respect when it comes to us and what we say and how we feel." He's talking about, oh, well, I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm not white. And I said, what does your birth certificate say? Because people sat here and asked you, are you Black? So you said, no, you're not Black. But when people ask you, are you white? You're saying, I'm this, I'm that, I have this. No, what does your birth certificate say? Because your birth certificate says whitey Hispanic. So when we're talking about this, he's like, oh, but I just feel like when the Black Lives Matter movement happened, we came and we did this. A lot of y'all sat at homes on y'all phones doing what a lot of other people did when they sat at homes during that movement. And then everybody was talking about all lives matter. It got turned into blue lives matter. And the wheel just kept going because there's no respect for the Black community. But all this solidarity that y'all want from people that y'all don't respect. And I told him they started naming to him different slurs for Hispanics and saying, how would you feel if somebody said that? He starts going, well, I'm not a water behind. I'm not that. I'm the other thing because I'm not Mexican. And I said, okay, but he kept getting offended that they kept referring to him in some way a Mexican. And I told them, I said, Puerto Ricans, if you notice, they always get mad when you compare them to Mexicans because I let him show his colors before I even started saying that. Cause he said, we already got our papers. We don't have to come through illegally. We don't have to. And I said, you see that, Pride? There it goes right there. You think you're better than somebody because you don't have to go through documentation, but your country right now is divided because half your country is saying we need to be independent and the other half, which are Presidenta, whatever you want to say, the woman that's president in Puerto Rico, the one that loves Trump so much, that's singing Puerto Ricans for Trump, encouraging all y'all to vote for Trump, is saying they want to be a state in America because everybody wants to benefit from the association with America. But when it comes to actual American problems, it's
Yeah.
let me talk from my house stoop and say how I feel, but let me not do no footwork because everybody knows that the Black people footwork step different. When they're doing footwork, it don't hit the same. That's why they want us to come in droves and support. And they saying through the protest, but what they don't understand is when we go outside and we protest, we end up unalived at mass rates. There would be no, oh, we trying to just detain people and do all that. There's going to be people missing their families for the rest of their lives because they went outside and tried to stand for something. And when the woman came here telling us about oh no, I think she's here. I'm sorry. About, oh, who you voted for, who you didn't. In my opinion, I felt like we all should have protested and not voted this year and say we're not going to keep voting for people that don't benefit us at all. We're taking our votes and we bring our votes back. when y'all start presenting us people that actually benefit us and stop making us pick between raid and mouse poison. That's not fair. Everybody got to stop saying we in a democracy when we're clearly not choosing these people, because if we were choosing them, it wouldn't divide us so much when we get
Yeah.
the two options and we're feeling like we're torn in between the two because they say and vote for this person, but then
Yeah,
that person do this.
I'll give you another minute, Cookie.
Yeah. Oh, I'm wrapping it up right now. I'm landing my plane. But
Okay.
that's what I'm trying to get people to understand is that as Black people, we have to stand for something. And our problem is we trying to get the solidarity in our community together. Why would we stop what we're doing to aid in other people's stuff that ain't never care about how we're being affected? Anytime, like I said, if they're not documented, the reality is they got to go. And, oh, they just want a better life. Listen, the people that are selling rugs on the street claim they're looking for a better life and they're just trying to feed their kids. Everybody's looking for a better life, but if you're doing it the illegal way, you're not doing it the right way. So it has to be handled. And we told them before this happened that they was going to be doing detention centers and sending people back and doing all this. They knew this beforehand and they chose to still vote for that man. They're just upset because it didn't benefit them. And I land my plane.
All right, Cookie. All right, let me go down here to Brown, then Gino, then Chrissy. Go ahead, Brown. I'm give everybody 3 minutes. Y'all got to stick to the 3 minutes, okay? Just because everybody's full up, but if there's people that haven't spoke yet. After that, it's cool. But I just want everybody to get a chance to speak. Go ahead, Brown.
All right. Hey, everybody on the panel. I heard so much up here today. I don't even know exactly what to comment on because I don't want to be long-winded to be up here more than 5 or 10 minutes or something. I want to stick to this 3-minute thing. A couple of things I heard up here I totally agree with. Some of the things I'm hearing up here I'm not agreeing with, right? And I do understand that everybody's entitled to their own opinion. The first thing that I want to point out that I didn't agree with, and there's a reason why I don't agree with it, is that we should pull and not vote at all. I believe that our push should be within whatever party it is that you associate yourself with, because if we pull completely out of the voting process or out of the citizenship that we're supposed to do, laws will be passed that directly negatively impact us. We need to have a voice in that. We need to have a seat at the table. Now, whether or not it actually pans out for us in the end, that's kind of thrown up in the air. We didn't get to where we are today because our people did not participate in the voting
No, okay,
process.
Brown. I just wanted to interject and say this is that you Black people are in the same state that they were when your mom, your grandma, and your great grandma were in the same state, still being hunted, still being unalive, still
I
being
agree.
openly discriminated against. So at some point you have to understand that participating in the system that was never meant for you is not going to get you any type of thing. And any type of real headway and change that Black people made was not due through voting. It wasn't. It wasn't through participating in that system. There were boycotts. There were, I don't know if I can say the RIOT, IOTs. It was those things. It was Black people getting physical, getting active, getting loose, cutting loose. It was never, oh yes, I'm gonna go here and hopefully you guys pass something that benefits me and my people. Nothing
That,
will ever benefit Black people to
that,
that degree ever, and nor has it ever happened. So if it's never happened, I have no idea why there are people that want to sell Black people that dream that's going to happen when it's never happened, nor will it ever.
but that's not
There
what
are
I'm
so many
saying.
Black people that believe that Elon Musk got the election for Trump. So if people believe that, if they believe that, then what do you think that you going to the polls and actually voting for Kamala would have did if everything is crooked and underhanded to begin with? It just doesn't make any sense. And I feel like what that does is, in my opinion, it allows Black people to be complacent. It allows Black people to go to a poll and vote and check something off and say, I've did my duty for Black people. We're going to be able to do something. When you tell Black people that this is what they have to do to make change, that's what they truly begin to believe will make change, when in reality, it is a lie. That will change nothing. You will never get any type of forward advancement from your oppressors through voting, through anything. The only thing, the way that you're going to get it is a way that I cannot say online. of course, but it's not going to be in the way. So I don't understand the brainwashing of, because what it does is it brainwashes young people, 18, 19, 20 year olds, to feel like, and then when they get to be 40, 45, 50, and they're sitting in the same world, now they're filled with rage and disappointment because the elders or people that were older than them lied to them and told them that this is the way that you make change.
So that's not exactly what I was saying, Trig. What I was saying is we just need, I believe in infiltration, right? To know your enemy, to defeat your
We will,
enemy.
but that's
You have to
also what
play
I'm
like your
saying. They
enemy,
will
and that we
never
need
allow us to
multi,
infiltrate.
we
Black
need
people have
multi
been,
things,
but
not
that's what I'm
just one
saying.
way.
Black people have been saying that too. Oh, if we infiltrate, if we get inside, we get inside the Senate, we get inside, we gonna be able to do something. There are plenty of black people that are inside right now. Some of them don't do nothing. They're Republicans. They're
Yeah, that's
notable
true.
Uncle Ruckus is, and then the other ones that are not, they still don't do anything either. So, like what I'm saying is, all of these things that we are told to do as black people is a form of brainwashing, because none of it results in any type of positive movement or forward movement to black people. It doesn't yield any fruit. So at what point do we realize as black people, a white T person is still able to unalive a black person with no consequence? A cop is able to pull you out of your car, do all type of things to you, and even possibly unalive you, and nothing that can happen. White T people are able to weaponize the police against you, lie on you, say you stole something. They know it. That's why they do it. There's so many things that have been happening and they're still happening, but we as black people still feel like we're able to make some type of moves. We're not. These things, the same things that are happening back then, are still happening. And people will say, well, at least you can go sit down and eat in the same restaurant. There are plenty of things that black people have said, that white people have said, hey, I don't want you in here. Get out of here. Or made you feel so uncomfortable that you will leave. So just because certain things are more covert, we're still in the exact same position that we were in back in MLK days. So it's like, that's the only thing I hopefully I don't want you to feel like I'm coming at you, because I'm not. It's just that it just scares me that so many black people still really believe that this is the way to make change when it's never been the way. Nothing that's happened has been nothing that we have ever achieved, even when it comes down to the Civil Rights Act, has been achieved from voting. Nothing. Nothing that we've ever gotten has been through any of those arenas. It's only been when we boycotting, like I said, and getting active. I guess that's the only word I can say. But I'm sorry I interjected. So go ahead. I'm gonna give you another 2 minutes because I interjected on you, Brown. Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry. You can go ahead,
Sorry
Brown.
about that. I got a call. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll come
So
back to
wait,
you.
I wanted to step
No,
in and
I
say
mean,
something.
I wasn't finished
Oh yeah, go
before
ahead,
you
Brown.
jump in,
Go ahead, Brown.
sir. So when I was saying about the infiltration thing, I also believe the same concepts you guys are talking about, right? It's more than one way to beat the cat, right? And if we take a solid approach in doing all of these things, right? I think that there'll be some progress. But then again, I also agree with the other young lady who stated that we probably would never make a certain amount of progress here in this place because we are in a system that's built to oppress us. So when I was talking about the voting process, I wasn't saying, hey, everybody go vote, that's what you need to go do, Adam, and go do it. No, what I'm saying is I think that as a community, having a multifaceted approach is how we beat that cat. You're gonna have some people that infiltrate. You're gonna have some people that's on the ground. You're gonna have these boycotts that we're all doing together. We take it. You got the Malcolm X people out here. You got the Mark. Everybody collectively is how we make this difference. So if you have some people who really believe in that voting system and how they want to vote, by means, let them go do that. But you're still going to have your boycott. You're still going to have your people in your community building up your community. You're still going to have your people who are out there just, you got your really strong people that's really, really, really out there. I think all of it working in conjunction together is how we make our stance and how we make our change. And in terms of the what I'm seeing with these brown people, the Mexican population, I'm just sick of seeing these videos of people up there trying to guilt us into doing something that we've been doing since we've been here. So and then on top of that, why should we, I'm in agreement, why should we be throwing our black bodies out there? Where was these people when we needed and been hollering solidarity? Come on, everybody, come with us, because that simply just have not worked. So when you say that we haven't really benefited from these things, I'm 100% in agreement with you, but I just think that everything collectively comes together and it pushes us forward.
Okay. All right. All right. Appreciate you, Brown. Let me go down here to Gino, then Chrissy, and then Dark Truth. And then I'll get everybody else back again.
Oh,
Go ahead, Gino.
okay. Good morning, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
I came in on the era where I heard the black women saying that the black man wasn't worthy of dating. Facts right here. The government did it just so y'all. I'm glad y'all was talking like talking, walking that walk. So listen, this
What
is
are
how
you
the
talking
Section 8
about?
and all of this started. The Section 8 started to keep the black man out.
Yes. Bye, Gino. Bye. Sorry you waited so long just to get dropped, but don't nobody want to hear what you got to say. Don't nobody want to hear the rantings of an ashy dust bucket because nobody likes you. You proved the point of every black woman on this panel. Please go move around. Go brush your teeth. Go for a walk. Go put your ashy feet in some grass. Go clip your toenails. Go clean out your ears. Go cut your nose hairs because I know you haven't did that in a long time. Go find you a new deodorant that works, preferably clinical strength, because I know you musty. Whatever it is, I don't care what it is, but you won't do it here. Sorry you waited so long to get dropped. I'm happy that you waited that long to get dropped. Let me stop lying. Bye. And I'm about to block you right now. Goodbye. You're blocked. You won't even be commenting in the panel. Goodbye. Have a great day. Let me move on. Go ahead, Chrissy, because I don't even know what he was on, but I know it was on some BS. It's best to nip those Negroes in the bud. Go ahead.
Girl, I'm excited. I didn't know I was gonna be up so soon. I was gonna have a little time. Okay. Child. Um, so
I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. I wanted to address the first 2 points I did. It says, why do black men receive all of the protection in the black community but cause the most harm? Why I guess that happens is patriarchy, things like that. Like, and that may seem like just a simple cut and dry like answer, just a cop out, but I really do feel that way. Like, people will say women get more credence and more understanding, but no, it do be the men. And for me, a good example of this, a recent one is I seen Cooking Like Kaya, crying her eyes out, whatever the case may be. And while I feel like the only reason why I feel like she deserves grace is simply because the men in the community get that grace. Like, they can talk as much trash they want to, they can da da da, and we can fight back, talk or whatever, but they're still welcome back into the fold. It's still brother, brother, brother. And then, we cussing out Cooking with Kaya. But that's the only reason why I feel like she deserves any type of grace in the situation. Whole time she was being to pick me, whole time she's sitting there saying, oh, well, I don't know what I did wrong, along with the men sitting there stirring that pot. We all know what y'all did wrong, but nobody wants to acknowledge it. So that's the only reason why I feel like why the men get more grace, even though they literally commit the same things. Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
I'm not quite for sure. Maybe you might want to
Okay.
clarify for me a little bit more.
Why I say, okay, so with the Cooking with Kaya situation, she sat and was just like, oh, well, I don't know what I did wrong, da da, this, that, and the third. And the men are sitting there, no, they just hating on you, they just hating on you. Like, they're still both contributing to both sides of the problem, and then acting oblivious, rewriting history to it. But Kaya is thinking, oh, somebody's going to be behind me and support me and say, it's okay, it's okay. But a lot of the times, black women do not get the same grace for doing the same things that these men do. And it's simply because of the patriarchy aspect.
With Cooking with Kaya,
Hmm.
I thought about like why things went wrong with her. I think first of all, she alienated women because
Hmm.
she started the whole thing with, okay, my cooking can take your man. I didn't find it. That didn't mean anything to me, but I understand that she triggered a lot of women that felt like she might have been being on some pick me type of time or whatever. So she
Right.
had women that didn't like her, and then she had women that did like her. But most of her supporters was men. But
Hmm.
I being a black woman and having your main supporters black men
Right.
is a very, very dangerous position to be in because first of all, black men are not loyal collectively
No.
and definitely not loyal to black women. And what they were doing is using her as a way to
Yep.
triangulate her against black women in general to
Yep.
say, oh, she's a better black woman. This is why we don't talk to y'all or date y'all because y'all aren't like her. And then when she went to that streaming university and her boyfriend exposed her for I
Hmm.
guess cheating or treating them bad or whatever, black men have one positive trait that I can say about black men is that they stay on code with each other.
Yep.
Period. They will never put a black woman above the collective of black men or above the brotherhood. They never will ever. Even if the black man is did wrong, even if they know that he did wrong, even if it's on film or camera, they won't do it. So that once they saw that, they automatically jumped to that dude's side, and now she became public enemy number one. And now she was crying because those men turned against her. But that's where she messed up, because you putting your faith in the collective of black men to uplift you, support you, is never going to work out. Not to mention that underneath some of her videos, I saw black men saying, when's the OnlyFans link going to drop, since you won't be getting any money anymore? I can't wait to see it, and degrading her. So it was just like, but that was her fault. But she's
Let me
young.
tell you
She's
too.
young.
Yeah,
So
and the youth, and I'll give her, and that's also a little grace I give her too. But let me tell you also on how it's even more so her fault in a way, because at the Stream University, apparently there was a dude that like accosted her, actually assaulted her like at a party or something, like just hit on her butt, and she didn't know, but other people seen it. And when she brought it to them, and they were saying, yeah, baby, you were sexually assaulted. She was like, don't say that, da, 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 da. And it's like, you're still covering for these men after on camera, everybody has seen these men violate you. So at certain points, we can only give you well, I don't know what happened. Or if people are telling you blatantly, and they was telling you before stuff went that way, and you just ignored them when it was putting money in your pocket and you were getting commodities off of that, you didn't mind. But now that you're getting the bad juju that came with the energy you put out, because it's all about energy, yeah. And that's why it's coming down so hard and so fast, is because she made it her whole plot. She made it her whole career, and just thought that, oh, it was just going to be money bags, money bags, money bags. Baby, all money ain't good money. Hopefully she learned that lesson. But
yeah, and I got you. I'll give
and
you, if you want to talk about you have to talk about number three. But if you want to talk about number two, you can. I'll give you 2 minutes, and
yeah.
then I'll move forward.
Yeah,
If
I'll
you want
slide
to.
through. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
should Black Americans be protesting right now? Absolutely not. Not physically. If you want to send up your well wishes, your support, if you want to speak on it, you can. But to say that you getting your black ass out in that street to do anything like that, first of all, we can't even get ourselves out in the street to protest for ourselves, simply because they be sending people out there to cause destruction at these protests. Like if y'all don't believe that, look up Umbrella Man for the 2020 Floyd situation. Look up Umbrella Man. It's right there on YouTube, and they'll show that same man cracking all of the windows on the AutoZone. It's a white teen man in all black with an umbrella, cracking all the windows on the AutoZone, and then all of the civil unrest happened. But let everything else in the media tell it. We just went out there and just acted a fool. You know what I'm saying? For one reason, and then for two, we always putting something on our backs. The rights that people have nowadays is because of us. Yet when you turn around, everybody act like we don't do shit. We don't contribute to nothing. It's just, oh well, y'all just do whatever in y'all community, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, no, if y'all aren't going to be grateful for it, then no, we don't have nothing for y'all. We don't. We can't. We cannot pour out of an empty cup and continue to do that. Like, no, I can't.
All right, Chrissy. I appreciate you, and I definitely agree. I think that we should. Now you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live, but I'm gonna let everybody get a chance to speak again before I get out of here. And you guys can speak on topic number one or two. It's up to you. But I think we were more focusing on number two. But to be honest with y'all, I try not to speak politics ever, because it's such a divisive thing. But I was flabbergasted that it went there, but it's cool. But yeah, I never do it. I just thought we would just say, hey, black people, we don't need to be protesting for them. I didn't know other things would, other things would happen. But it's cool though. But let me go up here and let everybody get a chance to speak again before they get out of here. So I'll start at the top. Loving, Kay, Momo, and then Chrissy. It's somebody else in the comments. So I'll do Loving, Kay. Oh no, I guess she requested by mistake. So Loving, Kay, Momo, and then Chrissy. Go ahead, Loving.
Okay, so the first thing I want to say is I keep hearing people say like how everybody is saying, oh, but we were at the Black Lives Matters protest. First of all, those were the people, that was their opportunity to come to the cookout that the black men keep inviting them to, okay? Because there was nothing changed after the Black Lives Matter protesting. Violence against black people actually heightened during the time while the protest was going on. They were out there partying in the streets, eating barbecue with the black people, dancing and vandalizing property. That's what they were out there doing with us. That was their opportunity to come to the cookout, nothing more. Okay, that's number one. There's a man down here who said we were talking about the mentality of she was talking about Kaya, whatever. And I was simply saying that the mentality of those black men is like basically where they put their bros before women, but you know, they have a catchphrase, bros before 304s. And he was like, oh, so we're supposed to select the 304. I just wanted to say this. I don't know if we can talk to the people in the comments, but since you're about to end anyway, please let me. Why don't you go ask your master what happened to y'all children that y'all had during slavery with the white women inside the plantation house? What happened to those children? Because the only mixed children we know about are the ones that were born in the fields, the little rape babies. So what happened to y'all children? Y'all need to go figure that part of history out before you come to black women talking about them being whores and that type of stuff. The end.
Okay. All right, love it. All right. So let me go here. Oh shoot, because she said what you call it. I'll say TikTok shop. TikTok shop. We love TikTok shop. It's great. We love to shop on TikTok shop. If you guys put TikTok shop in the comments. Go ahead, Kay. If you had something to say, Kay, let me okay, yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to add on to the points that we were making earlier about the Hispanic community and just other minorities kind of being with us when it's cool. That's the perfect way to put it. The lady before me, that was just an invitation to the cookout. And I feel like that's the one thing that we kind of messed up with. We don't allow ourselves to be taken serious. And now it's to the point where that's all that we want. I feel like for years we've been trying to be taken serious. People just laugh in our faces. People only take our culture serious. People only take our look serious. You know what I'm saying? To try to implement it into their own, to try to whitewash it, or I don't know. So what I was gonna say with the woman that was on here before, I don't know if she's still on here, but she was talking about she was on a panel and she was talking to a Puerto Rican man. I live in New York. You get a lot of that. You will get a lot of that, and it's not necessarily coming from a place of hatred. It's just a place of content ignorance. They're okay with being ignorant, and sometimes people. It's. Let me not say all, because I don't like when people generalize me, so I'm not going to generalize all. But I literally have dated a Puerto Rican man, and one of my homeboys is Puerto Rican, and we've talked about things. I even was best friends with a Colombian man one time, and when I was best friends with the Colombian dude, when I came around his family, they would ask him, where's La Negrita? And I used to be like, what? Because you know what that sounds like. And he telling me that comes from a place of endearment. I'm not making an excuse. I'm breaking it down. A lot of Hispanic countries, because they have European descent also, and, you know, a lot of them are white passing, they're mixed with, you know, Taino or Native or Arawak, whatever, and also of African descent as well. But because they were raised, brainwashed, similar to the ways that we were, but not exactly the same, they're just now becoming okay with their own culture, but not in the way that we are, where we are comfortable and secure within our blackness. It's strange because when you tell them not to say the N-word and you're not comfortable with that, a lot of times they don't really want to agree, because now they're like, oh no, I'm black. You know what I'm saying? People they like to say that they're black when it's convenient. That's what I'm trying to say. But when it's time to ask them about history or break it down or get them to listen or get them to understand, they don't really want to go back and forth. And it's messed up because a lot of times black people don't understand that, and they think that they're just trying to be disrespectful or, you know, reclaim the word.
Oh, see, let me just
And
say
I
this.
just feel like, and I'm not saying that that's wrong, but I just feel
Yeah,
like
Kay, I gotta
you
interject.
know?
I gotta interject, Kay, because you know everybody knows this is live. Is everybody's own thoughts and perspectives and stuff like that. But I just want to be clear here and let everybody know, as far as I go, I don't give Puerto Ricans any type of grace, any type of understanding. They know better. Everybody knows that you're not supposed to be using those words. They just choose to use it because if somebody said a racial slur to them, and we said, oh, we didn't know any better. We haven't been around Puerto Ricans. We're not at home in our culture. Look at it. Look what white people have done to us. Nobody would accept that. Nobody would think that was cool. We would be torn apart. So I don't believe in giving grace to people for doing things, number one, that they know better. They do know better. They're not stupid. And number two, I don't believe in giving grace to people that would never give me a lick of grace if I did the same thing. So
Oh no,
I
absolutely
can't
not.
respect it.
Absolutely not. I'm not trying to give grace to it, but I'm just giving context because I'm in New York, and here a lot of people that aren't black say the word. So it's like, imagine if I got.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They
I'm
say
not
the
making an
word.
excuse. I'm
That,
saying
but what
I
I'm
see how
saying
that's a
is they say the
problem.
word. They
A
say the
lot of
word
people. A lot
because
of
there aren't
people.
enough black people punching them in the face. They say the word
Exactly.
because there's not enough black people standing on business.
And
They
then
say
say
the
when they do
word
that,
because
then
it's
they want
black
to
people
fight.
making excuses for them. It's
They
black
want to
people
fight
making
for the
excuses
right to
for them.
say it. And
If
I don't
every, but
understand
that's
what
what
it
I'm
is.
saying. If every black person said, "Hey, y'all don't have the right to say this," and there was actions and consequences behind it, they wouldn't do it. But it's a lot of black people that be like, "Oh, it's not that big a deal," or "Oh, they not really white," or "Oh, they don't know no better," or "Oh, it's part of their culture," and they give them all of these excuses, and that's the reason why they feel comfortable. Because the majority of white people don't feel comfortable to use the one with the R or the one with the A around most black people because black people have not made them feel comfortable in doing it. Unfortunately, black people have made them feel comfortable, and that's where they messed up at. Because I don't let nobody say it. If your
Black men
skin
have
not
made them
black,
comfortable.
you not saying it around me, or we gonna have a problem. So simple. And that I do feel like a lot of black people in New York, a lot of
Yeah,
black people in Florida, a lot of black people in California. The reason why they run rampant with doing that is because black people let it.
they let it slide.
That's it. So y'all got to start checking them. Y'all got to start putting hands and feet on them. Y'all got to start cussing them out. Y'all got to start using the negative words in their culture directed to them when they say it. Like, "Hey, what's up, my N word?" Well, "Hey, what's up, my blah blah blah." So, oh, what? Well, why are you
Show
saying
them
that?
how it
Why are
feels,
you
right?
saying that? If people did that more often, they would stop. I just don't want black people to become comfortable with disrespect because because the only way
I'm
that
telling you,
black
they
people will
have, bro.
receive
Like they
respect
really have,
is if
bro.
we take it.
I
The
feel
only
like
way black
it's
people are going to
festered.
receive respect is if we take it. Nobody's going to give us the respect at all. We have to take it aggressively. That's just really just it.
It's a problem that they've allowed to fester, and they try to
Yeah.
cover it up by saying it's the culture, it's the hood. Remember how earlier we were saying how black men are always loyal to each other? It's literally like that. So these Hispanic men, they'll have a lot of black friends. You know what I'm saying? And then is the black men that can have the same voice to attack their baby mothers and not do shit. You know what I mean? They can't have that same voice towards those Hispanic men and educate them. And then when they try, they're looked at as a weirdo because it's a festering problem. It's so normalized. I wasn't bringing it up to try to make an excuse. I was trying to like get y'all to understand, like, yo, it's you feel me?
Okay. All right. I got you, Kay. All right. Let me go down here to Momo and then Chrissy, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Go ahead, Momo.
Hey, so again, we've been rocking for years, and I'm not gonna let politics get between us. With that said, just hear my heart. My intention was not to shame anybody for their choices or thinking they only had to vote for who I wanted to vote for. I've never taken that position before. Um, in this case, because I understood what Project 2025 would do to us as a collective, what I understood that him not really being a mastermind, but the figurehead or the face behind this demonic plan that's in place that's being rolled out, I would have voted for a moldy slice of tomato. Anything I thought would keep him out of office. Now, multiple things can coexist simultaneously. And with that being said, no, I don't think voting and engaging in politics is our only option. And I absolutely agree with you that we have to figure out some way of really fighting back and really getting our voices heard and really holding, our elected officials to task or figuring out a way to get beyond this. Because it's I feel like it's a very frustrating time for us as a collective. And I agree with you that, yeah, what have we achieved since civil rights? We haven't moved the needle very far. I agree with all of those things. I'm just saying that we got to do everything, whatever it takes. Is if it's malicious compliance, if it's resistance, if it's boycotting. My naughty list is so long. It's like I feel like I can't go nowhere, even though I can go 5 minutes in any direction and hit just about every store. And 90% of them are on my naughty list. Like I won't even go into. So, again, sis, I'm still standing with you. We're gonna keep our feet on these Dusty's neck, and I meant no disrespect. And I hope you heard my heart today.
Oh, no problem, Momo. I just wanted to say this. Hopefully, you didn't misunderstand me. I'm very passionate about these topics, but with the exception of Lexi, the lady that I dropped or whatever, I totally understand your perspective, and I know that we're not all going to agree on every topic, and that's just so that's okay. You know, we may not agree on everything. We're all individuals. We're not monolithic. So I just want you to know, no, I'm definitely not upset and not angry. I still think that you're a very intelligent, strong, beautiful black woman. I definitely don't want you to feel like that at all. You're always welcome to come up here and say your perspective, even if I don't agree.
I
It's
feel like
fine.
I got triggered
Yeah.
too. When I got triggered when I hear people, oh, I didn't vote, or and I never thought she was perfect. But compared to this demon, oh my God! Like and just for the Latinx community, she wouldn't have done this to y'all. I know she wasn't perfect. She's not perfect. None of us are, but she wouldn't have done. But I mean, he had y'all babies in cages his last term, and you didn't learn nothing. Ain't no way.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that as well. I remember watching the several stories that like thousands of kids were missing. That I think some of the kids they never recovered, which means that
Exactly.
Lord knows what untold horrors those children are experiencing. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying.
I will never
Um,
understand how his support increased after that.
But yeah, and I understand what I see y'all in the comments, Loving and Chrissy, and I understand what y'all are saying as well. I really do. I see both perspectives on what y'all saying. It's just I lead more to the other side of I would say like Loving and Chrissy and other people that commented. But I definitely get you. But no harm, Momo, for real, you're always welcome, and I'm definitely not mad or angry or upset or anything like that at you. Let me go
I just
down
wanted to
here.
make sure we straight,
Oh,
cause
we
like
definitely straight for sure, for sure. Like I said, the only person that I had an issue with that was a black woman on this panel was Lexi. Like she was a weirdo, and I she had to get blocked. And
I think that was meant
yeah,
for me though, cause I was on her about, I don't know if she didn't vote or she just voted third party, and I'm a registered independent, so I get it, but
I don't
no
know, I
third
don't
party
know.
candidate is ever gonna take it. So
Yeah, I don't think it was just you. I she I don't know. She just had a strange energy. It was very off-putting and yeah, I didn't like it. At first, I just ignored it. I was like, cuz everybody has a different, personality, which is cool, but it's just like certain times, certain people like their energy literally I can feel it inside like the middle of my chest and it'd be like, that ain't right." I normally trust that intuition because the times that I have not I've definitely paid for it. Let me go down here to Chrissy. Go ahead, Chrissy.
Hey, babe. So just speaking on the 2 points again, just to reiterate, with the Kaya aspect, it's not really even just energy. It's the fact that her and again these men in this community played on the actual fracture that we know is there. Like we already know the gender wars, we already know the battles. Like it's no better than what it was when she first started out last year. To sit and monetize on that, but then expect a community to fall back on when you were banking on the destruction of that community is ass backwards. It really is. And again, the men get that grace. I guess it's because they the repeat offenders that we just expected from them, even though we shouldn't, I guess, because that's why they get let back into that fold. But yeah, it really is that deep. People, it's a joke, it's a joke. And I personally I wasn't like the whole take your man aspect. I'd be like, okay, girl, whatever. Like, it's not that serious. But when you really look at the full scope of how things actually were, you are definitely out of place for that. And I teeter totter on giving her that grace, though I want to only because the men get it. But girl, and she's young, she's 24, but ma'am, I'm 27. I'm about to be 27 actually in the next few days. So I'm 26. So I only got 2 years on her. The common sense gonna have to hit, or you about to be ass out because the men is not about to come save you. And I can only hope she learned that soon. But again, she played out, well, I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what I did wrong. She keep on being on that tip. Baby, you gonna be ass out. So that's for my first point. And when it comes to what the other girl was talking about with the Puerto Ricans saying the N words and all that, whatever, whatever. Like, oh my God, it was one time I was talking to this Puerto Rican dude, and him and his friends, they would call each other cabron, cabron. And from my understanding, it's like jackass, dumbass, things like that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes how we use the N word, or we be like, oh, what's up, dumbass, whatever, whatever. So I'm thinking, okay, it's a cool endearment that I can use. But apparently, when a woman calls her man that, it means that she's cheating on him or whatever the case may be. Just it's pretty much a slur to them. So as soon as I said that to him, he's just like, oh my God, no, 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 that is not something a man should be calling a woman. Like, this is not something just new in the black community when they say, oh, all y'all do is call each other slurs. No, this happens across language, you know? But as soon as he said, yo, don't call me that, he didn't have to give me an explanation. I just stopped. But then these same people fight tooth and nail. Like one time he called me, I was talking about my hair, and he said, yeah, my people over there, they got malapelo, or I forgot how, I get it mixed up, malapelo, pelamala, whatever, right? He's pretty much saying bad hair. And I asked him, do not refer to my hair like that. I'm not cool with that. And he was just like, well, that's just what we say from where I'm from, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And we're going back and forth to where I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm breaking up with you. Because if I can respect you enough to not call you out your name with something specific, then don't call me out mine. I shouldn't have to fight tooth and nail with you when all I did was give you the respect without the explanation. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know what it means too. I just didn't know the right phrase. I get it, the words mixed up sometimes. But yeah.
Oh yeah, and I understand what you're saying, and that's not the first time. Unfortunately, I heard that. I know back when I used to do hair, it was a black woman. She was actually a doctor. She was an OBGYN, and she was dating this. I think he was Cuban though, and she ended up breaking up with him because he was bringing her around all of these white T men, and they were doing racial jokes about black people and using the N-word and stuff. And when she told him, like, why wouldn't he stand up and tell his friends like that they shouldn't be using the N-word with the hard R, that he told her that she was being too sensitive and stuff. So I mean, I know this is a thing that goes on in, like, Latin communities, Hispanic communities, whatever. And that's why I just don't believe in giving no grace, because certain things just come to you naturally because you're human. If somebody says something to you, you're saying something and you know that it's hurtful to a large demographic of people, and you keep doing it, you're a piece of garbage, really. And you just don't deserve any grace. I just can't do it. I can't give it to you
I get it.
at all. I
There
don't
be black
allow.
men too
Yeah.
that allow that say
Yes,
that
yes.
will
And
sit
they do
there and
too.
let it.
Yeah, and they do too. And like, I definitely agree. I think I've seen a lot of black men encourage other races of people to use the N word. I've seen them encourage white girls and other women they're sleeping with to use it. I've seen them encourage, and I think actually, if we want to be truthful, black men are the reason why this is a problem. Because if black men checked it aggressively before these things happened, and wasn't so thirsty and desperate for acceptance from other races of people that would never truly accept them, we wouldn't be in this position. So I definitely think that this is, of course, the other races are doing it, so they're the problem. But black men are also the problem because they created the environment for it to be acceptable to do it.
I saw a man on TikTok
Yeah.
the other day, and it was a black man, and he was walking around like the mall or something like that, and he was holding up a sign like, "Call me an a hard ER, and I'll pay you like a band or something like that." Like, and somebody in like a what was it? In one of those little game suits, I forgot what it called, but with the imposter, whatever that game, somebody in one of those suits came up and was just like, inward, and then ran off, got the money, and the dude's just sitting there looking. I'm just like, bro, you voluntarily did this. And I don't know if it was for that you got a kink, for just promotional aspects and engagement. I don't get it, but y'all really that willing to sell out your own community and yourself and embarrass yourself like that just to say that somebody paid you a low lick of attention? Like, it's actually crazy. It's like, it needs to be studied.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you for sure. All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna get up out of here. I might come back, a little bit later, but it'll be definitely with another topic, another the topics. All right. But I appreciate everybody that came up to the panel today. Everybody that came, everybody that gave y'all perspective. Whether I agreed, whether I disagreed, I appreciate all of you nonetheless. Every single solitary black woman that came up here, with the exception of Lexi. I really appreciate y'all and y'all perspectives and everything that y'all had to say. And a special shout out to Supervillain, because I just want you to know that somebody that always has my back and respects me and uplifts me and speaks life into me, I will always do the same for you. I will never ever let somebody play in your face while I'm here. I just won't do it. I won't allow it. So I hope you have a great day for the rest of your day, Supervillain. All right, I'll see y'all. Have a great day. And if you're a black woman and you're listening to this, I just want you to know that you are awesome, amazing, special, valuable. You are powerful, and don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You have power. You have intuition. You are the master of your own destiny. And never forget that, all right? And never forget that I love you too. And this will always be a safe space for Black women. And express yourself honestly. And we're not always going to agree, and we don't have to. And at the end of the day, who am I? I ain't nobody. So who cares what I think? All right. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great day.